Hey, what's up guys? It's Adam with RC Logger, and today we are going to do a quick unboxing and a build video of the RCI 450 almost ready to fly quadcopter from RC Logger. You can find this bad boy at our website, and you can also find a retail partner through our website as well. Let's move on to this unboxing and see what's in the package. Now, like everything else we have, our packaging is really awesome, so I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy open and let's find out what's inside. First and foremost, we have this metal plate here. This is kind of important, you're going to need it, and we also have some screws in there as well. There we go. And then we also have a little brochure here that says, hey, thanks a lot for picking this up. You can find our instructions on the website. Tentatively, they're not there, but they will be by the time this video makes it into production. Alright, moving on. We have some straps. These are very important. You want to hold your battery into place. And then we have some color identifying things, and we also have some propeller nuts and hubs. Spring washers to hold the props on. That's relatively important. We also have our canopy. You're going to need that as well. And then we have the multi-rotor itself. Pull this guy up out of here. There we go. And to finish it off, inside the box, props, because you're going to need them. Alright, that's our unboxing. We're going to move right into this build video here in 1 second. We'll be right back. Alright guys, moving on to the build portion of this thing. First things first, what we want to do is we want to install the aluminum stabilizer plate using a number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. In order to do that, there is some screws that actually need to be removed from the main frame of the quadcopter itself, which I've already taken out. They are located here, 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 and here. So you take those 4 screws out, you grab the bag with the screws in it that it came with, and you grab this metal plate, and you put it on. Alright, now that we got the plate on, guess what? We don't need any more tools. The next thing we're going to do is make this thing like a transformer and pop it open. So the first thing is we grab the arms here, and they just clip into place. There's a couple little prongs. Yeah, there they are. So you just fold the arms out just like that. And then the landing gears also just pop right open, and all of a sudden, bam, you got a quad. Now the next thing we need to do is to see this little red guy here. We didn't put the other one in. We figured we'd give it to you guys to do. So you got to slide that guy in here. And then the next thing we're going to do is put these Velcro pieces on to secure the arms in place. They just simply wrap around the plate and the arm all in one. And that's that. Okay guys, I've got my arms all opened up, I've got my Velcro on, and now it's time to move on to installing the propellers. What we're looking at here is, if you're looking at it, this is a clockwise rotating propeller. Obviously it rotates clockwise. This propeller is going to go on the front left arm, and as you can see, you can identify the front arms with these arrows here that are on the arms themselves. Obviously you put the red up front to help for orientation purposes and go from there. So first thing we're going to do is take this prop, and this thing automatically locks into place. We're going to grab our nuts and our prop collar, and we're going to slap a lock washer on there. Bust that bad boy open. There we go. We're going to slap a lock washer on, and then we're going to put our prop collar on. It's really important that you don't over tighten the prop. What you want to do is snug it down by hand, give it a good little twisty do, and there you go, you're all set to go. So the one to the right of it is going to go in the opposite direction. It's going to go counterclockwise. You're going to put that one on, same thing, tighten the prop down by hand, and then the next one will go clockwise again. So you're just going to go around in a circle, and you're going to put clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise. Go through this process, tighten up all the props, and then we're going to move into adding your receiver. Alright guys, we've got our props on, we've got everything tightened down. We're going to move into installing our receiver. Now you'll notice the gray flat ribbon cable is unlike anything you've ever seen. That's okay, don't hit the panic button, all will be okay. We picked up a Spektrum receiver. We're going to use this one. You can use Futaba, you can use Hi-Tech, you can use the Devos, whatever you want. This is a really simple and straightforward process. First thing you want to do is you want to locate the pin that has a red wire on it. And then next to it is going to be, the rest of them actually are going to be all just gray solid wires. However, the wire next to it is going to be the ground wire, so the red wire is the positive, and the wire next to it is the ground wire. So you're going to find the, you could use the throttle plug on this receiver, positive and negative, or you could use just the battery bind plug positive and negative. Just make sure you locate them. As you can see on my receiver, I have a little indication. Let's see if I can get that to come into focus there. And, well, you can barely see it. Anyhow, you're going to look for those positive, negative, and the signal wire sign. Make sure you just plug the red wire into the positive pin, and the wire next to it is a ground wire into the negative pin. Next thing you're going to do is start to plug the channels in. However, channel 1 is on the other side of the flat ribbon cable. So you're going to grab the first lead, and it only needs to go into the signal wire pin of your receiver. So I have my first channel. I'm just going to use it for throttle, and I'm going to plug that into the signal pin. I'm going to move right on to my next channel, and that's going to be my aileron. I'm going to plug that guy in to the signal pin of my aileron channel. Next one over is going to be my elevator. I'm going to plug that one into the elevator signal pin. And then finally, the fourth channel, the last channel I need out of this pin, will go into the rudder signal pin. And the other signal pins, the empty ones, those are for like if you're going to add our LED light kit or something like that in the future, or maybe down the road we'll implement something else. But all you need is the power and negative on one side, and then the first 4 pins to go into the signal input for the throttle, aileron, and elevator of the opposing side. Alright, after this we're going to move on to show you how to program your receiver to communicate with the RCI 450. Alright guys, we've got our receiver installed. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and move into programming your radio and receiver to communicate with the i450. In order to do that, the first thing we have to do is set our transmitter up. You can set it up as a regular airplane. It doesn't have to be a helicopter or anything fancy like that. And you only need a 4-channel radio for this. So if you have a fancy computer radio, good for you. If you don't, guess what? You're still good to go. That's the beauty of this thing. Alright, so to move on to the programming of the recognition, the first thing that we need to do is inside on the main control board, there is some dip switches, and they are numbered 1 through 6. In order to enter the programming mode, you need to take dip 4 and switch it into the on position. So I'm just going to look in here. I'm going to recognize, okay, I see what dip it is. I'm going to push the dip down, and I just felt it move, so I know it's in the on position. Now we can step into the programming feature. In order to do that, the first thing we want to do is power up our unit. I am using a 3-cell 2200 milliamp pack. You can use anywhere from 2200 to 4000 milliamp packs with this machine. It'll do fine anywhere in there. Just make sure it's a 3-cell. If you use a 4-cell, you're going to burn this thing up. So stick with what I'm recommending. Don't learn the hard way. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug this thing in. And I'm going to notice a light sequence that starts down in there. And what I'm looking for is 2 flashing red lights, just like you saw there. So this is going to flash red over and over again 2 times. And now it just recognized the low throttle position sensing. So the next thing we need to do is get it to recognize the rudder. And in order to do that, we're going to give it left rudder. You're going to see the light flash green and then go back. Now you're going to see 3 flashes just like that. It just recognized the rudder channel. Now what it's waiting for is the elevator channel. So I'm going to give it full up elevator and come back down, and now it's going to flash 4 times, recognizing that it just got the elevator channel recognized. Alright, I'm saying recognize way too many times. I'm going to move on. Aileron, left aileron, bring it back to the center. It's going to go 5 times just like that. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then green light of go. That means you're done with the recognition process. It's that simple. Unplug your battery, turn your dip 4 back off, and you're ready to fly. Okay guys, let's wrap this up here. First and foremost, I want to talk to you about some of the features that the RCI 450 has. The first thing that we're going to discuss is the accelerometers. This has a 3-axis accelerometer system in it. What that means is when you let go of the sticks and you're flying in forward flight or any flight orientation, this will actually try to level itself back out, which is really cool. Some people like that, some people don't like that. Some people want, when you're flying this and when you let go of the sticks, they want it to stay in that position. In order to defeat the accelerometers or turn them off, you want to go back into your dip switches again, and you want to locate dip 1. Dip 1 is in the off position. That actually means that the accelerometer is on and running. If you want to defeat the accelerometer, you need to turn dip 1 to the on position, which is what I'm going to do right now because I like flying in a sportier configuration. Alright, now that we have that covered, what we're going to do is we're going to do a spool up test. And the only reason I've left the propellers on is to show you that this function, how this works. I can't stress this enough. Do not do bench testing with propellers on your multi-rotor platform. If you like your fingers, just take your props off. It's much safer. I've got a lot of years experience here. It's the only reason why I'm going to demonstrate this how I am. So what we're going to do is we're going to power the unit on first and foremost. And just plug our connector in. We have a beep. We know we're good to go. Our transmitter's on. In order to arm the system to get the multi-rotor ready to fly, you're going to give this left rudder, and it's going to go into boot phase. This is initiation right here. The props are spinning. Everything's ready. You give this thing throttle, it's ready to come off the ground. In order to stop the propellers, push the stick to the right, and it'll shut the props off. It's a nice safety feature. If you ever have a crash, this thing's smart enough to know that it's had a crash and it shuts the whole system down, which is a really nice feature. So in conclusion, this is almost ready to fly quad. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to build it. It just takes a little bit of patience, a little bit of time, go through the programming sequence, and go out and go fly this thing. Retail price $369. You can't go wrong. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the field.